Today, I'm gonna tell you about the story of Gino. Gino is a Taiwanese artist. He has a friend. He has a Japanese friend who is kind of adventurous, and one day his Japanese friend said that he wanted to explore an abandoned temple on top of the hill, but it is in Taiwan. So that Japanese friends, when he visit Taiwan, he want Gino to bring him uphill to visit that temple. And at the same time, the friend said that I want more people to go together with us. So Gino was the one to contact the rest of the friend. So on that day, they actually have to gather around at the foot of the hill. So when Gino was waiting for the rest of the friends to come, suddenly he realized that Japanese friend was missing. So since they are unable to reach each other, they just sat downhill and wait for that Japanese friend. And later, sometimes after, they saw that the Japanese friends was at the top of the hill and he was coming downhill, walking downhill, and they all of us felt weird. And Gino asked him, why didn't you wait for me? Why didn't you wait for us to go to the temple? That friend said that, no, you were the one who brought me there, right? Didn't you? And when he said that, everyone knew that something is wrong. Something was wrong. So that night, that friend, he had to overnight at one of the hotel in Taiwan, because the next day he got to catch the flight back to Japan. But since things like this happen, the friend was worried and he was scared. So he asked Gino if it is possible for him to go over to sleep with him, right? And same went to Gino, and he was scared, so he thought that might be a good idea for them to sleep together. So when they reached the hotel was very small. On the left hand side of the hotel, it's the bathroom, and then it's the bed, and on the right hand side of the room, it is a wardrobe. But the wardrobe has a huge mirror, so you can see everything through the mirror. On that night, Gino was sleeping at the bed nearer to the bathroom, while his friend was sleeping at the side nearer to the wardrobe. So in the middle of the night, when Gino, he was tossing and turning, when he turned around, at the same time his Japanese friends also turned around, and when both of them turned around, they had eye contact. They were staring at each other, because both of them, they had sleep paralysis, that they lost the ability to move. And when you experience sleep paralysis, it actually means that there must be the presence of a ghost in that room. So they were scared because they couldn't move, and then they was keep on staring at each other. Then Gino felt that there was something knocking or kicking the back of his head. It's like knock and knock and knock and so on. So he, out of the blue, he think, oh, maybe I can use some vulgar language, because by saying those bad words, maybe I can scare the ghost away. And he muttered them in his heart, and miracles happen. All of a sudden, both of them, they could move, and then they sat up, looked at each other, and Gino asked him, what did you see? His friend said, because I was sleeping kind of near to you. So he said, there is a blind spot. I can only see a little above your head because I'm kind of near to you. Then he said he saw a pair of legs. The pairs of legs was like hanging and moving downwards. That's why downwards and forwards and backwards. That's why Gino felt like the legs was like kicking his head. So Gino said, alright, now let's not sleep anymore. Pack your things and we're gonna go to the lobby and wait until the morning and we check out. So immediately they packed their stuff and they went to the lobby to wait until the daylight. So actually Gino was the one facing the huge mirror, so for him he did not have any blind spot and he can see clearly from the mirror everything that happened. What he saw was a guy like hanging himself on top of the ceiling, and then he was moving down, as what the friend said, kicking him forward and backward, and he can see clearly that the guy hanging is actually the Japanese friends. Sometimes this is what we call doppelgangers, like when you see this person over here but at the same time you see that person's elsewhere, so it's like his spirits is elsewhere, so something terribly bad is gonna happen to this person. He didn't tell this to his friends, thinking that maybe he will scare his friends more if he tells him. So when his friends back to Japan, Gino went to a temple to consult a Taoist priest. He asked him what's the solution. Then the Taoist priest told him that you were fine, but your friend, I think something bad is gonna happen to him. So when Gino contacted his friend in Japan, when he back to Japan, his friends had a real high fever and he was dying. So Gino told this to his family, and his family immediately seek help from the temples nearby, and it helps him to solve this problem eventually. So right here I have finished my story. This is like one of the most creepiest story that I have ever heard of. Hope you enjoy it.